What is up, guys? Hassan Malik back here again. And today we're going to be looking at what, in my opinion, are the top 15 LEGO Star Wars sets that need to be remade. So these are sets that were really awesome at the time of their release and need to get an updated version. LEGO has done this with other sets like the Death Star Final Duel and the Anakins Jedi Interceptor, so hopefully we'll see this with some of the sets on this list. Sets that have come out pretty recently, like within the last 4 years, won't be included in this list since you can still pick them up from third-party sellers for a relatively reasonable price, such as the Ewing, which I think needs to be redone with Star Wars Squadrons. Also, I did want to mention that the Republic gunship won't be on this list since we already know that we will be getting one within the next year. Okay, let's get into it with number 15 on our list with Anakins Ywing Starfighter, which was released in 2009. This is a vehicle we've seen quite a bit in the Clone Wars, including at the end of Season 7. It's quite different from the regular Y-Wing, which justifies LEGO remaking it, considering we have received regular Y-Wings within the past few years. For a remake for this set, I'd like to see it based on that ending from Season 7 of the Clone Wars, and include figures like Captain Rex, Jesse, Ahsoka, and hopefully some regular 332nd Clone Troopers. Hopefully we could see it redone in a new paint job as well. At number 14, we have a set that a lot of you may not like, the Ghost from 2014. This wasn't too iconic for most of us when the show just began. I, like a lot of you, probably didn't really like Rebels in the first season and never picked this one up. But the show has really grown on me, which has made this set so much more desirable, so it is definitely one of my biggest regrets. The original design for the ship was fantastic to begin with, but if they ever remade this, I'd like to see it based on Season 3 or 4 of the show, with newer variants of all the characters, including an older Ezra. On to number 13 with the Mandalorian Starfighter from 2012. This was an awesome set, and as we've seen more of Mandalore in the Star Wars canon, these ships have become more iconic. They could base a remake of this set on the Clone Wars or Rebels, but I would prefer to see a set based on Season 7 of the Clone Wars with the black and red paint job. A set like this would be a great way to introduce Bo-Katan and a Season 7 Gar Saxon or Almec in LEGO form. For a remake, I'd like the set to be much larger and include much more interior space to act more like a troop transport. At number 12, we have the TIE Interceptor from 2006. It is insane to me that we haven't seen a regular minifigure scale TIE Interceptor in LEGO in almost 15 years, considering how much LEGO loves to make sets based on the original trilogy. We have seen other special variants of TIE Interceptors in recent years, but I'd like to just see the standard version of the fighter with the gray and black color scheme. For a remake of this set, I'd like to see it based on Return of the Jedi and follow the designs of the new regular TIE fighters like the one we received with the Solo sets. Minifigures in this one would pretty much just be a TIE pilot, but getting a few other figures wouldn't hurt. Hopefully we'll see one with Star Wars Squadrons releasing soon. On to number 11 with another TIE, the TIE Bomber from 2003. Now this one is even worse than the last since it's been 17 years since we've gotten this ship. Just like the Interceptor, LEGO likes giving us original trilogy sets a lot, so it's weird we haven't seen this one again. For a remake of this set, I'd like to see it based on Empire Strikes Back with the bombing runs they do on the asteroid, and also follow the gray and black color design like the standard TIE fighter from Solo. This is a great custom one I found online. Not sure who made it, but if it's yours, let me know in the comments below so I can give you credits. At number 10, we have the Bounty Hunter Pursuit from 2002. Now I get it. Pretty much everyone hates Episode 2, but this movie is not that bad and still had many awesome and iconic moments. Yes, the lines and delivery are super cringe, but this chase sequence in the movie is still quite good. Seeing Anakin and Obi-Wan zip around the busy streets of Coruscant is an action scene we haven't really gotten one like in the rest of Star Wars. And Episode 2 is criminally neglected by LEGO. We never get sets based on this movie, which is a shame considering 2013 was an entire year of sets that was based on Episode 2 and is now remembered as one of the best years of LEGO Star Wars. I really like these civilian vehicles. They are very different compared to some of the other stuff we see in Star Wars. For the remake of this set, I'd like it to literally be this set updated with new minifigures and builds. Not much else they'd need to add, except maybe that Death Sticks guy. On to number 9 with the Droid Battle Pack from 2007. I know everyone likes to build their clone and sometimes even Imperial armies, but as much as I like clones, I also really love battle droids and want to build my droid army as well. But LEGO doesn't give us too many opportunities for this at such a cheap price. This set was fantastic since it included so many droids for 10 bucks. In an updated version, I'd like to see this set include at least 4 regular battle droids, 2 super battle droids, and use the build for the set as droidicas, all for the regular battle pack price. That may sound like a lot, but battle droids are far cheaper to produce than a regular LEGO minifigure, so it is more than doable. I was originally going to have the MTT at this spot for pretty much the same reason of building those droid armies, but I'd much rather see an affordable battle pack. At number 8, we have the Rancor Pit from 2013. This is such an iconic moment in Star Wars as a whole, and it seems very strange to me LEGO has only made it once. It went along with another great Jabba's Palace set that also needs to be remade. For a remake of this set, I'd literally just want them to re-release this set with updated figures. It is honestly perfect to me, and there's really not much to add. On to number 7 with the Duel on Geonosis from 2013. This is another set that was part of that really awesome 2013 year of sets, and is another set based on Episode 2, which LEGO really needs to make more sets on. The biggest reason I'd like to see this set remade is so that we can finally get another film-accurate version of Count Dooku, which LEGO has really only made one version of, excluding the Clone Wars and Yellowface versions. This set not only included great figures, but was a great playset as well, and would fit in very well with LEGO's new lineup of sets. This is another set I'd literally just want them to re-release with updated figures. Only addition I could think of is Count Dooku's Solar Sailor, but that may drive up the cost way too much. It would also be nice to get Anakin and Obi-Wan, but including them would make this set too perfect, and LEGO would never do that. At number 6, we have the Ewok Village that is also from 2013. Man, that was just such an awesome year of LEGO Star Wars. This is just a perfect set. It isn't technically listed as one, but it's one of the best Master Builder series sets they've ever made. It's a very nice large playset with tons of fantastic figures. For a remake of this set, I'd love to see them expand on the build a little more and maybe even add some elements of the Battle of Endor, like a bunker and maybe an AT-ST, and then just update all the figures with the latest prints and molds. Also, if they could include a Darth Vader burial build, that'd be amazing, but probably can't happen since Luke is literally cremating a body. On to number 5 with the Republic Dropship and AT-OT Walker. This is one of the most expensive sets on the aftermarket right now. It has completely skyrocketed in value, and that is so understandable considering that you get 2 very large, very desirable Republic vehicles that actually interact with each other all in one set. The dropship is very iconic, and we see it quite a bit in the Clone Wars, and although the AT-OT isn't as iconic, it's still a great vehicle that a lot of fans are definitely after. For a remake of this set, I'd want them to make the builds more structurally sound and make them a little more dense and thick. I don't personally own this set, but from what I've seen, there are some areas I like to be more fleshed out, like the neck of the dropship. And for the figures, I'd like to see a whole bunch of white Phase 2 clones with the new 501st redesigned armor. I love the 501st and other legions, but we need way more standard clone troopers. At number 4, we have Palpatine's Arrest from 2012. This is another set that has just shot up in value, and rightfully so, since it's just such an awesome set. This is one of those moments you wouldn't expect LEGO to make considering the violence, but I'm glad they still made it. For a remake of this set, I'd like to see them just re-release this build with updated figures since the set is just so awesome as it is. This is really just such a fantastic set with so many great minifigures. I mean, just look at the amount of Jedi you get. Amazing. Okay, we are now at our top 3 sets. So at our number 3 spot, we have Jango Fett's Slave 1 from 2002. We have received countless Slave 1s now in over 2 decades of LEGO Star Wars, but they have pretty much all been for Boba Fett. And don't get me wrong, I love Boba Fett. He's my favorite character, and the USS Slave 1 is my favorite set. But this version of the Slave 1 is when we get to see the Slave 1 in the most action. Again, I know people hate episode 2, but I actually like all the prequels, including episode 2, and I like this chase sequence in the movie. For a remake of this set, I'd like to see them follow the design of the 20th anniversary Slave 1, but include some added features like the seismic charges and the blue color scheme. I'd also want the set to be based on Kamino, allowing us to have figures for Obi-Wan, Jango, Boba, and hopefully even some Kaminoans. At number 2, we got the ARC 170 Starfighter from 2010. Now this one is a super biased opinion for me. I owned the original 2005 variant as a kid and absolutely loved that set, which in turn made the ARC 170 one of my favorite starfighters in all of Star Wars. I absolutely love that ship. And as ships go, it's a pretty dominant one in the Clone Wars since it is pretty much the standard Republic starfighter. So not getting one of these in a decade has really sucked. For an updated variant, I'd like to see a much more improved build and also follow the new X-Wing designs by allowing the S-foils to snap open and close instead of endlessly turning the knob at the back. For the minifigures, I'd like to see 2 standard clone pilots from episode 3 and Oddball as well, along with some buzz droids. Okay, before we get into our number 1 spot, let's take a look at a few honorable mentions without getting into too much detail, starting with the Wookiee Catamaran from 2005, the V-19 Torrent from 2008, the Death Star 2 from 2005, the Hoth Wampa Cave from 2010, the Republic Attack Shuttle from 2009, the Sith Fury class Interceptor from 2012, and the General Grievous Chase from 2005. Alright, so with the honorable mentions out of the way, let's get into it. So the number 1 LEGO Star Wars set that needs to be remade is the Venator class Republic Attack Cruiser. And who did not see this coming? This is a super iconic ship in Star Wars. I couldn't even tell you how many times we've seen it in these shows and movies. We've gotten many Star Destroyers, yet only one of these, which is pretty sad. The set itself could have been a lot better in my opinion. For a remake, I'd like to see the build completely redone so it doesn't look so stubby like it does in this set, and be much larger, allowing for far more interior space. I wouldn't mind this set falling in the same price range as the Tantive 4. I'd also like to see this set based on the end of Season 7 of the Clone Wars, recreating the last couple of episodes. For the figures, I'd love to see Season 7 Ahsoka, Rex, Jesse, and a whole bunch of 332nd and regular Phase 2 clone troopers. It would totally also need to include Maul and the Mandalorian device used to imprison him, as well as the droids who help Ahsoka throughout the episode. I would love to see interior components with the hyperdrive room, the med bay, and of course the main bridge where Rex turns on Ahsoka. This is the absolute dream set for me right now, and if LEGO were to ever make something like this, I know countless fans would be so happy. But that is pretty much it, guys. Those are the top 15 LEGO Star Wars sets that I believe need to be remade. Before you head out, make sure to let me know what your list would look like down in the comments. Also, make sure to let me know whether you agreed or disagreed with my list. And for tons of more LEGO Star Wars content, make sure to subscribe to my channel. But that is pretty much going to do it for me, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.